קירבי, thanks so much for taking the time to talk to us in this busy week.
Yeah, you bet.
בסיומו של שבוע סוער ביחסי ישראל וארצות הברית, האיש שיושב בתוך חדרי הפגישות בבית הלבן מבקש להרגיע מעט את הרוחות.
Does President Biden believe that it is time to stop this legislation?
The president believes, and this is a sentiment that he's expressed to Israeli leaders as well as to the public, that when you're talking about significant changes to rule of law, to democratic institutions, that it's important not to rush through that in a democracy, particularly a democracy that's as vibrant as Israel, that you need to achieve the broadest possible consensus and approach those major changes from a sense of compromise.
ארצות הברית מודאגת, אבל יש לה קו ברור אותו הבית הלבן אינו מוכן לחצות. לא תהיה התערבות בהליכי חקיקה ספציפיים, כמו למשל עילת הסבירות.
I can assure you we are not going to wade into internal domestic politics in Israel. The president has said, and many times has said, because he has such deep respect and affection for Israel and for Israel's democracy, that any major changes, again, he urges Israeli leaders to go about changes in a way that is cautious and that respects, again, the broadest possible consensus and a sense of compromise going forward.
הקריאה הזאת למנהיגי ישראל לנקוט בזהירות הועברה, אומר קירבי, גם לנשיא הרצוג שנפגש עם ביידן השבוע וגם בשיחה עם ראש הממשלה.
Mr. President, welcome back. Welcome back to Washington. Welcome back to the White House, and it's a pleasure to have you.
גם הרעיון להזמין סוף סוף את נתניהו לבית הלבן מקבל ספין חדש מהממשל, בסך הכל מפגש שגרתי, לא יותר.
Never in the 75 years that Israel's been a nation that the President of the United States hasn't been able to or wanted to or had the ability to talk to the Prime Minister of Israel. It's important. And these are two leaders that know each other very, very well, going back decades. So what they've agreed to is to have a meeting before the end of the year. Not uncommon, not unusual. It doesn't mean that our natural and again, very friendly concerns over what's going on in Israel have abided. President Biden believes strongly in the power of diplomacy, and he really believes strongly in the power of personal relationships.
But he waited 7 months, so has anything changed now?
Again, I've said it many times, our concerns over the kinds of significant changes that Israeli leaders are talking about, those concerns have not changed, and the president reiterated those concerns again this week.
אז תהיה פגישה, אבל אין שינוי בעמדה, וגם אין התחייבות לקבל את פניו של נתניהו בבית הלבן.
Details have yet to be worked out.
But it seems that in Israel, this detail seems to be getting a lot of attention, whether it will be an official invite to the White House or a side conversation at the UN.
Well, I certainly can't speak to the interest in Israel on this. What I can tell you is that the president is serious about having a meeting with Prime Minister Netanyahu before the end of the year. The date, the place, the exact time, all that has yet to be worked out between our two teams.
בשיחות סגורות הביעו בכירי הממשל חשש שהוויכוח הפנימי בישראל יקשה על קידום הנורמליזציה עם סעודיה, נושא שביידן ניסה מאוד לקדם.
We think that normalization between Israel and Saudi Arabia would be a positive step forward to a more integrated Middle East, and a Middle East in which Israel is much more involved. And again, we think that's a good thing for the region. We think it's a good thing for the world.
So the president called the government with some of the most extreme members that he's ever seen. Does that impact the chances of getting this deal with Saudi Arabia?
That's going to really, again, the normalization is going to be up to Israel and Saudi Arabia in terms of forward. We're going to continue to encourage that.
ומה עם קצת חדשות טובות? גם עכשיו הבית הלבן לא מוכן להתחייב לכך שישראלים אכן יקבלו פטור מאשרת כניסה לארצות הברית.
Can Israelis start packing their bags and buying tickets to New York?
I don't know how close. What I can tell you is that we're still committed to working with Israel to eventually get them into the visa waiver program. As I understand it, there's still some process issues that have to be worked out. The State Department is a far better place to go for a specific update on progress than I would be here.
So we're not there yet?
As far as I know, we're not there yet. There's still some process issues that have to be worked out.
Jon Quibi, thank you so much.
My pleasure.